All right. Are you ready? I am. I'll turn this down a little bit. I don't know if you can tell if I turned it down, but whatever. Welcome to the show. Happy Monday. Metal Monday on the Morning Night Live. Hope you all are having a good morning. Hope you had a good weekend. Some of you is just getting started. Some of you it's afternoon, Mike. Anyway, so there was a big game yesterday, and everyone's talking stupid crap about that game. And I still want to talk about sponge brain shit pants. Yes, I'm still kind of hung up on the old man with the fading memory and the implications of what that little report said, because it's just it's kind of like they had all the evidence and he broke the law, but we can't prosecute him because he's feeble. And I'm just looking at that going, wow, this is James Comey, Hillary Clinton all over again. So I want to go through his little diatribe from Thursday night, his little press conference that was past his bedtime. And then I'm gonna hopefully have time to go through some of the commentary on it. So that's what we're doing today, folks. There's a lot of of course, everything trending is about the Super Bowl for the most part. So we'll talk briefly about that, and then we're going to talk about the big guy. So that's it. Hope you're ready. Johnny, are you ready over there? I am. Turn that off. Thank you. And play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
Yes. In the immortal words of Joe Cocker. Star, can you put me on the screen now? There we go. Good morning. Hey, there I am. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel on this Monday, the 12th of February, 2024. And just to remind those of you who celebrate that lovely Hallmark holiday known as Valentine's Day, you better get your shit together because it's Wednesday. It's 2 days from now. So if you haven't planned ahead and gotten something done, you need to do that now. See, fortunately, in my household, Lady and Boomer and I do not celebrate Valentine's Day. And it's not because we don't love each other. We absolutely do. But it's because our wedding anniversary is 8 days later, 8 days. Yeah, 8 days later. Yeah, because our wedding anniversary is on the 22nd. So we're not doing we've never done the Valentine's Day thing. We've always said, you know what, we'll just skip it and celebrate our anniversary. And so this year we'll be celebrating number 31 of our of years in marital bliss, and we're gonna go have a nice dinner and just do some chill. We were supposed to go out of town next week. We were supposed to be going to Florida next week. But we had to change that because there was a little bit of glitch in her vacation time. So now we're not going to Florida until April. So, and I don't know, is April a good time to go to Florida? I don't even know. That's one of the what, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's one of the 6 states I haven't been to. So I'm finally going to get to go to Florida. She's been there several times, but anyway, that's enough of that, though. But today I want to talk about the big guy today. But there was a Super Bowl, and I was thinking, I wonder if that. And this is about as conspiratorial as I get. I wonder if the timing of that little report from last week, was timed to at least get people to stop talking about it as fast as possible, because we don't want to talk about bad stuff about Joe Biden for too long. I'm surprised they didn't wait till Friday to put it out. But now everyone's talking about the Super Bowl instead, and I'm like, By the way, here. Let me see here. I'm going to do a poll, and we're going to see. This is the first poll of the day. Because I'm curious. Did you watch the Super Bowl? And I'm going to give you a few choices here. Yes. All of it. Second choice will be yes, but not all. We'll add another option. Nah, just the halftime and some, halftime / ads. And we'll put a fourth option, hell no. Now, that doesn't mean you necessarily as emphatic as I'm putting as a choice, but I'm just curious if you watched it or not. And so basically, the first one is yes, I watched it. The next three are not really or not at all. So those are your choices. Lady Boomer and I watched the first half and the halftime show, and which the halftime show, I mean, Usher was good if you like Usher, and I like Usher, I guess, but it was an underwhelming halftime show as far as I was concerned. But it didn't compare to the great. It did. Someone in Twitter today said something about, yeah, it was really great and I loved it, but it's not Prince, but it's certainly in my top 5. And I'm like, don't even mention his name with Prince's, because Prince's halftime show was the greatest ever. Okay, don't even come close. There ain't nothing that came close, coming to close to Chris. Maybe I'm trying to think if there was one that actually. I thought, now personally, I'm a Bruno Mars guy. I liked Bruno Mars Super Bowl halftime show. I thought U2 was good, great, and it was just U2 in concert. Let's see, who else had a really good one? I thought, as much as I'm not a fan of Lady Gaga, hers was actually very good. Beyonce did a really good one. Michael Jackson was fantastic, but he's Michael Jackson. What do you expect? But there's still none of them compared to Prince's. I'm just saying. And there was some that I was like, did they do? There were some that were lip synced. I don't know. Anyway, it didn't compare. Okay. And then we didn't watch the second half because we realized neither of us really cared about the game. She was watching it because I was watching it, and I was watching it because she was watching it, and neither of us were into it. And she's really into football. I like football and I like watching the Super Bowl, but it just didn't do it for me. And then the outcome came out that very similar to what everyone was predicting. I mean, like too similar to what some people were predicting. Some people said it was a script, and I don't know about all that, but it was whatever. So, but when we get into trending topics today, you'll see that almost everything is about Super Bowl. So I'm going to get through those as fast as I can. I want to actually go through Joe's press conference from the other day, and then just the reactions to the press conference when I want to say the Ben-Hur, when the Ben-Hur report came out. It wasn't Ben, but you know what I mean. So we're going to do that today. So let's get into the show. First, I got to thank Tyre Alexander, who is the first donor of the day. Tyre Alexander, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. You dropped a big bullet in the tip jar, which means a 223 at pdognight.live. And he dropped a couple articles in here. One says the link to the article and then this bitch. The second link, and again, I'm tired. One link per donation, but I'll do 2 today. The second one is FAFO, which means fuck around and find out. And then it says, we covered them on my show, and I am interested in your thoughts. So we'll go through those 2 real quick before we get into the main part of the show. Let's say hi to everybody. First in chat over on Rumble, Mr. Avocados Diablo gets the bell and his theme song. Also, good morning to the greatest name on the internet, Phantom Dog Park. Whoa, what the hell happened there? I didn't even do that on purpose, but it kind of fit. Also, good morning, Mike Savage. Blarg. Let me get my monitor up there. Is that it? Is that everyone on Rumble? I guess so. There are Well, it says there are 11. 10 people are watching Rumble. If you're watching Rumble, say hi, and we'll keep it going. Wait, there was a Super Bowl? Ah, that was what that trivia blitz was. Yes. Yes, it was. So, but I'm not going to talk too much about it because, I don't know. How many people in Ireland watch the Super Bowl? I'm curious. I know there's some people in other countries who watch it, but I just don't think it's that big a deal. Anyway, wait, low. What low? Low. I'm not sure what low means. Low what? Low. Oh, I see. And anyway, on YouTube, first the chat is number one. Who gets the bell? Good morning, number one. Also, good morning, Abacus Diable. Again, another theme song. Good morning, Kara Soldier. Sure You Gospel. Zed the Snarky. Jesse Leon is in the house. Also, good morning, Lord Stanhope. Tyre Alexander. The Gentleman Lich. Also, good morning to Tribute Liberty. What's up, my brother? Good morning also to Don Julio, Gulf City Biker and Trash Man. Aaron Meredith's in the house. Simon Wolfwood's in the house. TC is here. Nice to see you when you can make it. Awesome. Another guy, V, is here. Good morning, Patio Furniture. GDSOB. HP Lovecraft. What's up? Trump Just Truth. You can thank me for the prick that went into that tight end. Without it, we'd all be dead. Pfizer Bowl. I didn't see that yet. I'm not on Truth. I should, but I just haven't. The only reason I would go in there is to see him, and you can find every one of his posts, his Truth social posts, on YouTube, or it's not YouTube, on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, because someone always posts them on there. Also, let's see. Did I say Tyler F? Good morning. Amazing Disgrace. I think I already said Tyler F. Maybe. Chris Gilroy. That's a new one. How you doing? Or not a new one, but a new. Nice to see you again. Tales of Gore's in the house. Jimmy Das Hotep's here. And is that everybody? That might be everybody. I gotta be close. If I'm not seeing anything, I watched it from Wales, close to Ireland. Well, yes, that is very close to Ireland. Thank you for watching, and also thanks for watching me from there. I appreciate it. Good afternoon to you. Okay, so let's get into the show, because what is this? What is on my screen here? All right, trending topics today. Almost everything has to do with the football game. But real quick, thanks. Oh, by the way, thank you to who am I thanking here? Thank you, Somnambull Nation. Thank you. Wait a minute. Okay, wait a minute. What is going on here? I'm getting a bunch of. Oh my good Lord. People are arguing with me about the 14th Amendment, and I'm just going to laugh at these people because they're stupid. In fact, I'm not going to. I can't do it. Can't do it. Cannot do it. Cannot do it. What is this? People are responding to other stuff. Oh, gotcha. Thank you, Somnambull Nation, Jimmy Das Hotep, another guy, V, I think. Other people who've been retweeting the show. I've been trying to figure this out. Is that Tyre Alexander? Okay, for tweeting out the show, please share the stream, hit the like button. If you want to sponsor the show, pdognight.live, 24 hours a day. You get the advantage of doing this rather than wherever that your super chat thing is or Rumble Rant thing is, that one, it goes to me, not to them more, and also two, you can type in the full amount of characters no matter how much you donate. So if you got a long-winded little post that you want to drop into the super chats, do it at pdognight.live. The links are in they're in the chat on YouTube, and let's do this. I'm going to pin that and we'll put it in the chat on. Oh, whoa, what the hell did I do there? Boomer Vision, copy, paste there. I dropped the link in the Rumbles chat too. All right, let's get this let's get to it because got to get into what's happening in the world. Now, today, February 12th, I believe is the actual birthday of Mr. Abraham Lincoln. It's his actual birthday. Now, and for whatever reason, I'm going to talk about President's Day in a minute, but yes, 215 years ago today, Abraham Lincoln was born. So happy birthday, Mr. President Lincoln. The other reason people talk about Abraham Lincoln, though, is because something that happened at the Super Bowl, which I'll get to in a minute, but it was and I guess I'll explain it then. Why am I not centered on this? There we go. So anyway, happy birthday, Abraham Lincoln. Now, it's also the birth date of Charles Darwin. Now, we have mixed emotions about Charles Darwin. I think he may have been onto something with his theory of evolution, but maybe not. I don't know. There's still a lot of missing information, but he is a famous scientist, born on this day in 1809. So those are the two major birthdays of today. Let's see what else is going on today. Also, now this is interesting. When I woke up or got here this morning, this Super Bowl massacre was trending, and I was like, wait, the Super Bowl massacre? Was there like a mass shooting at the Super Bowl or some shit like that? No, apparently Israel did a incursion or something into a town called Rafah in Gaza, so to speak. And it says Israel just bombed it says they bombed a refugee camp, and it's the worst war crime in modern history. But I'm not sure. I don't even know how to determine whether or not this happened. Now, someone here says Biden warned Israel. Now, Ben Shapiro tweeted, Biden warned Israel not to go into Rafah. The IDF promptly goes into Rafah and saves 2 hostages. So they pulled 2 hostages out of Gaza. And then he says the problem isn't just that Biden is senile. It's that he's always been a fool. But other people are saying that they bombed a refugee camp in Rafah. So I don't, and they got a lot of, I've seen a lot of things here. Okay, this is the tent city that they said happened. So, and if that's the case, that's not good. That's not a good thing. So anyway, that's why Rafah is trending. And until I get more information, I don't want to, I don't want to speculate of things I don't know. So we'll figure that out a little bit later. So anyway, and then everything else pretty much trending today has to do with the Super Bowl. So we'll just go through a quick rundown of those. I'll put links to all these, but again, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because I want to spend more time on things that are really important. And if I were a conspiracy theorist, I would think that the timing of I'll call it the Ben-Hur report, even though it's not Ben-Hur, the Hur report, putting that out just before the Super Bowl would get people to stop. You could talk about it, but then they're going to stop talking about it quick because everyone's going to be talking about the Super Bowl today. And so I posted the question on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, this morning. And in fact, I just posted it. What did I post? I said something to the effect of, is the Super Bowl chatter today a big enough distraction to get us to stop talking about the old man with a bad memory? Because it's certainly not a big topic on X today. Now some of the more left-leaning people on X are still complaining about it, but the people on the right are talking about stupid shit like the national, not the black national anthem and Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and shit like that. And I'm like, are you this easily distracted? Is this really important to you? So let's get into. Oh, by the way, I'm ending the poll right now. There's the results of the poll, which are, let's see, did you watch the Super Bowl last night? 14%, yes, all of it. Yes, but not all. 3%. I'm in the yes, but not all. Nah, just the halftime. 0. And 82% said hell to the no. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's sad. That is football. Are you American or not? The great American pastime. Although I have a lot of Canadians and others here, so I guess I understand that maybe you wouldn't watch it. So anyway, apparently the Kansas City Chiefs are trending. They won the Super Bowl last night. Now, apparently, he's okay. Travis Kelce, star tight end for the Chiefs, says people are obsessed with him and Taylor Swift because of the values that they stand for. No, you're just it's just a celebrity couple thing. Here, let's see what's
the Los Angeles Times. The paper sent me here just to cover you and Taylor.
Okay.
Obviously,
oh, good God.
Everyone is
Hello,
so captivated
Asan,
with your
by the way.
relationship. Some people have likened you to the American Royals because you're a football player. She's a
Oh, fuck it. I don't want to hear this shit. I don't care. The Kansas City Chiefs won their third Super Bowl in 5 years. Apparently they won it in overtime, and I didn't see it at the end. So I don't. That's trending. You can. Like I said, I'll just drop all these links in the link thing that I put in the chat every day, and then the description called a one-tab link. You click one link, and it takes you to everything we did, and that's where it's going to be. Because I'm not talking about this today. The Chiefs won. People are talking about scripted because a lot of people were predicting the outcome of this game, and some of them to astounding accuracy as far as what the narrative of the game would be. Glad I didn't watch 1 second of this poorly scripted garbage. Well, there you go. But that's not really important. People are also talking about Patrick Mahomes, who, I got to tell you, first 7 years in the league, has been brilliant. He has 5 Super Bowls, 3 championships. That's pretty good for your first 7 years in the league. And so the other thing trending that people are comparing to is Tom Brady. And how long will it take him, as young as he is and as talented as he is, to maybe be up there with Tom Brady? As far as his numbers right now, his first 7 years numbers eclipsed Tom Brady's quite a bit. And in fact, here it is. Mahomes' first 7 years destroyed Brady's first 7 years. And he says, I don't want to hear any of this. NFL was different back then. No, I mean, if you look at their first 7 years, yes, his first 7 years are amazing compared to Tom Brady's. But Tom Brady still has, seven Super Bowl rings? 6 or 7, something like that. 6 with the Patriots and 1 with Tampa Bay, right? And head-to-head, Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes gave him that respect last night and mentioned it. And in fact, Patrick Mahomes is just one of 2 quarterbacks, Tom Brady, to win 3 Super Bowls before the age of 29. So they both had 3 Super Bowls before their age of 29. And they're both great quarterbacks, and I don't care who's better. It's just, everyone's going to talk about it forever, though. Also trending is Andy Reid, the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, who apparently the new meme coming around is Travis Kelce screaming in his ear. And it's weird. Someone says here, let's see, seriously though, if Lamar Jackson, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Rashee Rice, et cetera, did what Kelce did to Andy Reid, they would be called a thug and a menace, an embarrassment to the NFL as a whole, and there would be panels on the negative influences on our youth. Well, I don't think anyone's celebrating Travis Kelce going over and screaming at Andy Reid, but that's unfortunately Andy Reid's trending more because of that than the fact that he just coached a team to its 3rd Super Bowl in 5 years. So congratulations to Andy Reid. If you want to read more on that, let's see, what does Cat Turd say? Kelsey Travis, who said it backwards, showed what an arrogant piece of shit jerk he is tonight when he pushed Andy Reid. Glad everybody got to see the real him. Well, and some people are saying, good thing the Chiefs won because, we don't want Oh, I can't even make this joke. I can't make the joke. Just fill in the blanks on that joke of whatever. I'm not doing it. I'm not telling that joke. You might already know what I was going to say. Okay. Also, roid rage is trending because of of Kels screaming at Andy Reid. Andy Reid was cool as a cucumber. Todd Swank says all of Gaza is a refugee camp, that that are now regular cities. They just call them refugee camps still to trigger the propaganda machine against Israel. That's a hot take. My goodness. I'll take. I just. By the way, hello Todd Swank, a new name on the board. Nice to see you here. Yeah. So anyway, roid rage is trending also because of this, because he actually accidentally pushed Andy, and Andy was like, Andy should have been like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" But he didn't do that. Let's move on. Again, I'm going through this. Pfizer's trending because, Travis Kelce is Mr. Pfizer. Apparently, someone put this picture of him punching one of his teammates in practice too, which is not good. So when you say roid rage, here it is. Here's what happens when you wash down your 7th Pfizer jab with Bud Light tranny water. Yes, Travis Kelce advertises for both. I don't care. That's why I'm going through these so fast. I just don't care, because this is all that's trending on Twitter is football. Oh, wait. Dark Brandon is trending, and only reason Dark Brandon is trending because I guess people on the left think this is a great meme for Joe Biden. And so he put out this after the Super Bowl ended, saying just like we drew it up, implying that they wrote that. Apparently his social media managers at the White House, they don't really understand that we know that it's not Joe Biden who's tweeting this shit. So and there's a gag that the reason that was going to be scripted the way it was for the Chiefs to win, so that Travis Kelce could propose to Taylor Swift, and they could have the Chiefs at the White House, and Taylor Swift could endorse Joe Biden while they're doing that shit. And I'm it's funny. People come up with really creative things that could happen. I don't think so. All right. And then also, now this is the one that annoys me, and it annoys me again this year, not because they do it, but because of how it is portrayed in our circles. Okay, Black National Anthem is trending because at the game yesterday, they again before it wasn't even okay. So the song "Lift Every Voice and Sing" was performed at the Super Bowl, before the Super Bowl. In fact, it was before they even introduced the teams. Like, the teams weren't even out there yet, and someone performed the song. And now, the history of this song, the origin of the song is a school in Florida. They wrote the song to honor Abraham Lincoln, right? And it had the moniker of, like, not a moniker, just a nickname, right? The nickname, the Black National Anthem, just because people sung it in church all the time. It's a hymn. It is a hymn that promotes unity and whatever. And for whatever reason, after 2020, they decided that they were going to do this. They're going to add this to their repertoire of songs sang before the game. Okay, the national anthem in 2009, they added "America is Beautiful." Now a couple of years ago, they added "Lift Every Voice and Sing." But people are really sensitive to the idea that it was known as the Black National Anthem, even though there is no Black National Anthem. It is not the official Black National Anthem. It has nothing to do. I mean, it's not a national anthem. It's just another patriotic song. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked. Well, I would be shocked if they did, but so I think one year, didn't they do add "God Bless the USA" before the game too one time? Which, look, maybe we should add that too. Let's have 4 patriotic songs, maybe 5. We could add "God Bless America." The problem is, it just makes the game fucking longer. And it's a great song. It's a patriotic song. It's to honor President Lincoln and whatever. But who cares? And why are we getting all upset about this? And unfortunately, it happens to be coming from our side of the aisle. We're like, well, there's only one national anthem. Well, yeah, we know there's only one national anthem. They don't bill it as being another national anthem. Just like they don't bill America the Beautiful, which they sing right before the national anthem, as another national anthem. And I think we just need to just chill out about this because it's just dumb. Let's see. So it's not an official anything. It's just another American song that they added to the repertoire. And, I just be like, whatever. They also sing America the Beautiful before the national anthem. That's what I'm saying. It's like, that's not the national anthem either. So can we just get over it and just, if they're going to add stuff, it's just part of the entertainment. And actually, if you listen to the words of the song, it's a pretty nice song. It really is. All right. Hey, Horatio Nelson's in the house, dropping a deuce in the tip jar. Thank you, sir. Saying, prithee, my lord, I beseech thee, thine mustache grows ever more powerful. The goatee spikes downward like eagles shooting towards its prey from the heavens. Hail, P-Dog Knight of the round stomachs. Hail, our greatest streamer. Super Bowl super sucks dick. Okay, that's beautiful, and I feel very honored by your very flattering words, Horatio Nelson, and thank you for dropping a tip in the douche jar. Not the douche jar, dropping a deuce in the tip jar. I will clean that up later. Thank you very much. All right, appreciate it. All right, shall we continue? Hello, oh, Jen T's in the house. What's up, Jen? How you doing? Nice to see you. And then anyone step over here? Okay. All right, let's move on. Also trending, this is still Super Bowl related. Taylor and Travis. Yeah, if you're not sick of hearing about Taylor and Travis yet, I don't know. You have a very strong stomach, I'm sure. Apparently they were at some party and her song "You Belong to Me" came on and they dedicated it to each other or something like that. I don't care. Moving on. Who cares? And then finally, someone was saying the President's Day is trending. Now, it's not President's Day yet, but I've been listening to some chatter about how they wish they could make the day after the Super Bowl a national holiday because people just, they watch the game and they get kind of shit-faced, and they said about 10% of the entire workforce calls in on the day after the Super, or calls out. Some people see it now in my part of the country, they say calls in, as in you're calling into work to say you're not going to be there. Some places in the country, they say call out, as in they're calling because they're going to be out of the workday. In fact, in the chat, what do you call it where you live when someone calls in? I don't know if you want to call it sick, because this is calling in hungover. But what do you call it where you're from when you call to work to tell them that you're not going to be there that day? What is the phrase that you use? I'm curious. Okay, so anyway, but they wanted to move president. So now they're talking about wanting them to move President's Day to the day after the Super Bowl. Yeah, no, and then we're not going to make Super Bowl Monday a holiday. Hello, Woodcutter and a 9123. Call out, call in sick, both. I got bang out. Where are you? Where is that from? Ditch day. Okay, now all wrong answers only. So anyway, that's why President's Day is trending. Why haven't we moved President's Day back a week so the Monday after the Super Bowl is a national holiday? We don't need a national holiday because if someone's playing a game. Call in sick, play sicky, mental health day. You call in to tell them you're sick. Wait, you don't get off for presidents? Yeah, that's right. We don't get off for presidents. Well, banks do. Don't banks? I know the schools get out for President's Day? Americans, do the schools where you live get out for President's Day? Hello, Jethro Hetero. All right, I gotta get through this faster. I'm taking way too much time. Hobby Lobby straight. So no more football. Oh yes, this has to do with football. So halftime, my opinion, it was good. but not great. I already said that. But the commercials, the commercials were really weak, I thought, this year. Although I think the Ben Affleck one was funny the first time, but then the second time it was like, no, I don't want to see this shit again. But there was some ads during the Super Bowl. One of them was about something washing feet and shit like that. It was like Jesus being like Jesus and washing the feet of the people, you know, that you might have concerns with. And then had this really inspiring little message at the end, you know, be like him or something like that. And that ad, people found out though that the ad was paid for in part and a significant part by Hobby Lobby. So Hobby Lobby is trending. I was like, why is Hobby Lobby trending? What did they do? Because a lot of people on the left hate Hobby Lobby because one, they're closed on Sundays and they are very, you know, Christian oriented. They were the ones who had the lawsuit where they were providing healthcare benefits to their workers, but they wouldn't allow them to use for contraceptives, and they won the lawsuit as a religious freedom thing. But anyway, so people are pissed off that Hobby Lobby is they thought it was a great ad until they found out Hobby Lobby is the one that sponsored it. So here it is. For example, Lindy Lee, who's this leftist lady, says Hobby Lobby billionaires behind the Jesus he gets it ads who spends millions of dollars pretending to be kind. Yeah, the Hobby Lobby people do put their money where their mouth is when it's talking about charity and things like that, but that's a whole nother story. Also spends millions policing our vaginas and destroying our bodily autonomy because they are against abortion. They just are. And spends millions hating on gay people. Yes, they do give money to things that they believe in, and that's not one of them. So if they give money to something that they don't believe in or against what they don't believe in. So anyway, it's the typical type of post though. Here's another. Super Bowl ads about Jesus from a group calling itself He Gets Us also donated $50 million to anti-LGBT hate groups. It's money from that $3 billion donation that made by that dead Hobby Lobby guy. There's no hate like Christian love. Apparently, the message of the commercial was good, but they didn't like it because of Hobby Lobby. So anyway, that's why Hobby Lobby's trending. Also trending is RFK Jr. because people are oh my gosh. So Robert Kennedy Jr. had an ad during the Super Bowl too, and it was actually very interesting. And I was watching, I'm like, yeah, I'm not voting for Robert Kennedy, but this is interesting. He took basically an ad, or not, he didn't, a super PAC that supports him did an ad where they took an old John F. Kennedy style ad and put Robert Kennedy's face in it. In fact, let's see. Is this ad here? Here's the ad. I'll show you the ad because it's interesting. Let's see. Hang on. Here's the ad. Full screen, please. Thank you. Okay, here it is.
President who's seasoned through and through. A man who's
so using a song they wrote for John F. Kennedy, right?
American Values 2024 is responsible for the content.
So American Values 2024 is the group that put this ad out, right? And he pinned it on his Twitter feed. Well, apparently, somebody in the Kennedy family was upset that they used a similar ad to John Kennedy or music and whatnot. And so he made an apology on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, about it. But here's the thing. You know the thing.
Come on, man.
Oops, wait a minute.
You know the thing.
A lot of people probably had no idea that Robert Kennedy was running for president. And so they're probably going, what the hell? What is this about? Okay. So it's probably from a political standpoint, probably a good thing to get people wondering and going, or, because he's not, the media doesn't want to touch him, right? Not like well, at least less than Joe Biden wants to touch little kids. But anyway, pretty good idea. I mean, people are saying he spent $7 million. No, he didn't. He did not spend $7 million. The Super PAC did. But for example, this guy says RFK Jr. paid $7 million to gain 30 seconds of access to the Super Bowl's 113 million viewers. Probably not a bad idea. Joe Biden could have had that audience for free, but turned it down. Yeah, Joe Biden turned down the traditional, well, not traditional, but over the last, probably 15, 20 years where they've had the president of the United States does a live interview during the Super Bowl, and Biden turned it down because, spun brain. But anyway, but some of his family members are mad, and so he apologized to them, and everyone's bitching and moaning about the ad. But I, as much as I have no interest in voting for him, whatever, but he certainly got under a few people's skin. So here's this Brooklyn dad defiant jagoff. For example, I will never vote for RFK Jr., not in 2024, not in 2028, never. President Biden has my vote. Well, that's really unfortunate, I would say. So anyway, that's why RFK Jr. is trending because of his ad. And I bet it got some people going, whoa, who? I didn't know he was running, because he gets almost no media coverage. Despite the fact that in these primaries, he's getting a significant number of votes. So it'll be interesting. But now apparently he's thinking about running as an independent. All right. Then the other trending things, he gets us. This is the ad from the, if you want to watch the ad from that he gets us campaign that they're pissed off that Hobby Lobby sponsored. It'll be in the links. I already did RFK. And then finally, Vivek Ramaswamy is trending again, because he often trends, and apparently because he was seen entering Mar-a-Lago with President Trump. There it is. Donald Trump and Melania and Vivek and I think his wife's name's Apurva, something like that. And she's attractive too. She's kind of hot. But anyway, so there is speculation. That Vivek might be the choice. Who knows? Wait, glit bang, what does that mean? And the dirt is gone. I don't even know what the hell's going on there. RFK bends the winds of what he thinks are popular opinions. He'll backtrack on anything he says if he thinks it'll get him a vote. Interesting. But I don't think so. At least I don't feel that way. I mean, you might feel that way, and that's fine for you to feel that way. I think he's sincere as far as the things that have to do with freedom of speech and things like that. My problem with him is his he's a leftist. He's a lefty. He's a collectivist lefty. And I'm not buying it. I don't think the government needs to be doing everything for everybody. And so that's my beef with him. I think he's a good man. And a lot of people don't like the fact that he's really anti-vax. Like, not just the jab for, not the Fauci juice, but has concerns about all vaccines. And some of it, is interesting, but is it all, whatever. But I think he believes when he says he believes something, I believe him. Okay. More than most of the candidates, including the candidate I'm supporting, the guy with the funny hair, because he says some dumb shit. Oh, by the way, he put out a Truth Social post yesterday, and I'm hanging my head in shame. saying to the effect that congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. You represented the state of Kansas very, very well. The problem is the Kansas City Chiefs play in Kansas City, Missouri. So anyway, I thought that was funny, and he'll get shit for that, just like Joe Biden gets shit. But let's move on to stuff that I need to get talking about, or I'm going to run out of time. So first, let's do this quick couple of articles that Tyre sent me. Hungary's president resigns amid an uproar over a child sex abuse pardon. Oh, ew. It's hard to talk about this kind of stuff on YouTube because they don't like it. So here we go. Hungarian President Caitlin Novak. I thought Viktor Orban was the president of Hungary. Did I miss something? Am I thinking of the wrong country? Hungarian President Caitlin Novak has announced that she is resigning from office. She's resigning from office amid an uproar or following mounting criticism over her decision to pardon a man implicated in a child sexual abuse case. I decided to grant a pardon last April, believing that the convict did not exploit the vulnerability of the children whom he had overseen, Novak said in her speech during a national televised address on Saturday. I made a mistake, as the pardon and the lack of reasoning were conducive to triggering doubts about the zero tolerance that applies to pedophilia. Thousands of protesters took to the streets of the country's capital, Budapest, on Friday, calling for Novak to step down. Orban is the prime minister. Oh, okay. That's what I thought. I didn't know if they had a prime. This is where they had a separate prime minister and president. So the presidency. Anyway, thousands of protesters took to the street in the country's capital, Budapest, on Friday, calling for her to step down. In April 2023, Novak had pardoned some 24 people ahead of a visit by Pope Francis, among them the deputy director of a children's home who had helped the former director hide his crimes. The director was sentenced to 8 years in prison for sexually abusing underage boys between 2004 and 2016, according to Reuters. The deputy director received a 3-year sentence. Novak was away on an official visit to Doha when protesters arrived at her office. According to Reuters, Hungarian opposition parties have demanded her resignation. So she did resign. She's a close ally of Hungary's hardline nationalist prime minister, Viktor Orban, who is... Wait, did they say... hardline? Okay, so when they say this is CNN, and when they say hardline nationalist, that is Hungarian for far right. Anyway, and she was the former family minister in 2022. She became the first woman to hold the largely ceremonial role of Hungarian president. Saturday's address was her final one as president, less than 2 years after she took office. She apologized to the victims and their families in her televised speech Saturday, saying she had made a mistake. Now, I don't know. In Hungary, can they revoke their pardon? I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, thank you, Tyre, for that one. And here's another one Tyre sent me real quick. Man shot after breaking into his ex-wife's home in Calhoun County. Is this the one that there's video of? There's no video in this one, thank goodness. There's a video of a man being shot, and that was going around on Twitter, and I didn't want to see that on here. A man was shot multiple times after attempting to break into his ex-wife's home, according to Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. Deputies from CCSO responded to a call Tuesday afternoon from a woman in Alexandria reporting a home invasion by Scott Ingram, 47, of Munford. She identified him as her ex-husband. Authorities arrived at the scene and found Ingram, who was shot multiple times. Oh, no, they didn't shoot him. Looks like she shot him. He was immediately transported to a local hospital, and his condition is currently being evaluated. Oh, they don't even say he's dead. Never mind. The caller and her daughter were found outside the home uninjured. The preliminary investigation revealed that Ingram attempted to enter the home and was subsequently shot by one of the residents. According to CCSO, Ingram had a lengthy criminal history, including 4 violations of a protection order for abuse, 6 arrests since 2022, and an active warrant for a violation of that protection order issued from earlier Tuesday morning. Ingram was out out on bond from a previous violation of a protection order from late last year. Why was he out on bond for that? Well, maybe he just paid it. I don't know. I don't know the details, but yeah. So that is an FAFO. Thank you, Ty Alexander, for response to the show and dropping some hate mail into along with the tip jar. All right. The problem wasn't she was far right. The problem was she was a woman. Ouch. Damn, AD. Damn. You're talking about the president of Hungary. All right. Let's get into sponge brain here. Because I wanted to do this Friday, but I hadn't actually, well, I didn't have time because I didn't plan for it, but I planned for it today. I'm going to go through Joe Biden's 12 minutes of mumbling after this Her report came out. Okay, so the Her report is the report that on Joe Biden's handling of classified documents and the reasons for not prosecuting, because he said multiple times in the report that Joe Biden did do this offense. It was kind of like how Hillary Clinton, did what she did, but Comey said, "Oh no, no prosecutor, whatever prosecutor." Basically, the reason they're not prosecuting Joe Biden, one, because they know a DC jury would never convict him. Two, because he would come off as an old man with a bad memory, as in senile, and dementia, what's not. And, well, because, it wasn't really that bad. He cooperated with us, right? And so no one, they would never convict him, so they're not bothering. But throughout the report, which is, I think, 300 pages or something, they admit that he was breaking the law in multiple ways, right? So anyway, and Joe got really upset because they mentioned the fact that he might not be all there. And so he hastily puts together this press conference, right? On Thursday night at 7:45 p.m., way past his bedtime. Like he should be already drinking warm milk by 7:45, almost getting ready to be tucked in by mommy, aka Dr. Joe Biden. And so here is we're gonna go through this press conference because it's very look, this was a big mistake as far as I'm concerned for him to do this because it was past his bedtime. They didn't have enough Adderall to keep him awake during the 12 minutes that he was out there. And he did not do well at answering questions. And hopefully this is the whole thing. But, and most presidents, look, presidents who do impromptu shit are going to get asked questions from impromptu reporters. Are going to be asking questions that they don't want him to ask. He can't pull out his little note card and say, well, they told me, here's the ones they told me to call on, and I'm just going to call on these five, only five, and I'm not going to take any other questions. No, these people are just shouting at him. So let's watch this. This is it's almost sad, but I wanted to do this, and we'll continue. Let's do this. Okay, here he is. Okay, here's Joe Biden.
As you know, the special counsel released his findings today.
Oh, by the way, he lies a lot in this thing, which is not unusual. But here, right now, he's on the teleprompter, and you can kind of tell that whatever they gave him here, it kind of wears off pretty quickly because he's into confusion mode really fast.
About their look into my handling of classified documents. I was pleased to see he reached a firm conclusion that no charges should be brought against me.
Now, the firm conclusion is that he will not be bringing charges against him, not because he didn't do anything wrong, but because he's too old and feeble. And the DC jury would be sympathetic towards him. Not because he's old and feeble, because he's a Democrat president. Remember, this would be handled in the DC circuit.
In this case, this was an exhaustive investigation going back more than 40 years.
Yes, and it went back more than 40 years because some of those documents were from the time you were in the Senate and you had no business even having them with you. Although they spent most of the time talking about the documents from when he was vice president.
Even in the 1970s when I was still a new United States Senator.
Yeah.
The special counsel acknowledged I cooperated completely. I did not throw up any roadblocks. I sought no delays. In fact, I was so determined to give the special counsel what he needed.
Determined.
I went forward with a 5-hour in-person interview.
Now he's about to make an excuse. He's about to make an excuse. Here it comes.
2 days, on October the 8th and 9th of last year, even though Israel had just been attacked by Hamas on the 7th.
I had so much on my mind.
occupied.
I had so much on my mind.
It was in the middle of handling an international crisis. I was especially pleased to see special counsel make clear the stark distinction and difference between this case and Mr. Trump's case.
Now, this part, if you've been hearing about this, and he in this kind of briefing page document report or whatever, the special prosecutor goes out of his way to compare and contrast what Joe Biden did and Donald Trump did. Now, that is fascinating to me, that a report on what Joe Biden did would even be compared to anything else, period. Because, one, that case is already going on, and claiming that it's different from that case because X, Y, and Z or whatever, and basically only because he cooperated after look, he's had these documents for, some of them 20 years. Some of them he's had since 2013. Some he's had, or 10, not 20 years, 10 years, 10 years, 10 years. Well, some 20 years because some were from when he was a senator. And the fact that you cooperated once you got caught really shouldn't mean all that much. But the idea that they would put something about Trump in this document tells me that Merrick Garland probably demanded that, even though this is supposed to be an independent special counsel.
The special counsel wrote, and I quote, several material distinctions between...
Yeah, you're quoting because you're on a teleprompter right now, and once you go off the teleprompter, everything goes to shit.
Trump's case and Mr. Biden's are clear, continuing to quote. Most notably, after given multiple chances to return classified documents to avoid prosecution, Mr. Trump allegedly did the opposite.
Maybe he didn't want to avoid prosecution. Who knows? I don't know. There's a complete difference between when you're the vice president and you take classified documents, when you're not able to declassify them, or when you're a senator, when you shouldn't even have them, and you take them, you had to have taken them out of a secure location. Basically, you had to have stolen them. Then a president of the United States who, when he took the documents, he was still the president of the United States. He has the power to declassify anything the fuck he wants. Yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a difference there, Joe. So you're comparing apples to socket wrenches.
With the indictment, he not only refused to return the documents for many months, he also...
Yeah, well... And that part's the part of the dispute, whether they're his or not. Presidential records. Remember, President Barack Obama made a little thing about presidential records. And somehow they bought it then.
Also obstructed justice by enlisting others to destroy evidence and then to lie about it. In contrast, he went on to say Mr. Biden turned in classified documents to the National Archives and the Department of Justice, consented to the search of multiple locations, including his home, sat for a voluntary interview, and in other ways cooperated with the investigation, end of quote.
Okay, and why that's in this report? It doesn't belong there. It's there specifically to say, oh, well, we know we're not prosecuting Joe Biden, but, we're trying to reconcile that with the fact that we are prosecuting Trump for the same shit. That's a feeble attempt to justify doing one and not the other.
Seen the headlines since the report was released about my willful retention of documents.
Now he's going to say that there are places in this report where there were no willful retention of some documents, and he's going to go through the specific ones. Notice how specific he is, because there are also plenty of places in the report where they say he did have the willful retention of documents, but just not the ones he's going to talk about here.
These assertions are not only misleading, they're just plain wrong.
No, they're not.
On page 215, if you have...
Okay. The willful retention of documents. if there were no willful retention of documents, how are they in your house and in your offices and then all the places they found them? Oh, he's going to blame it on. Oh, yes, he does. He throws his staff under the bus. It's hilarious.
I had a chance. I know it's a thick document.
I know
On
you
page
can't. You guys
215,
can't. You certainly can't read 300 pages. The press, it's what you do for a
The
living.
report of the special counsel found the exact opposite. Here's what he wrote. There is, in fact, a shortage of evidence that I willfully retained classified materials related
A
to
shortage
Afghanistan.
of evidence. Interesting, because there were 300 documents that you took. I know they say 5 or 6, but it was really 300.
On page 12, the special counsel also wrote for another documents. The decision to decline criminal charges was straightforward. The evidence suggests that Mr. Biden did not willfully retain these documents. The evidence said I did not willfully retain these documents.
You know, it's interesting. The Espionage Act doesn't say anything about willful retaining documents. It specifically says possession of the documents. So are you saying that you did not possess them when they found them in your garage and in your house and in the back room behind your garage and in your office in Pennsylvania and your office your office at the University of Pennsylvania? Are you saying that you did not possess them? Because that's what the law says.
In addition, I know there's some attention paid to some language in the report about my recollection of events. There's even
You mean when you couldn't remember shit when they were asking you? Oh, were those just, I don't recall, or were you actually mumbling something that was incoherent, like normal?
reference that I don't remember when my son died.
Now, wait, now, he's going to talk about, because that was one of the things in the report. Oh, that he couldn't even remember within a reasonable number of years when his son died. And he's going to get really, really upset about this. But then, well, let's just listen. Just listen.
How in the hell dare he raise that?
Okay, indignant, which is fine. I understand. But listen.
Frankly, when I was asked the question,
Now, oh, by the way, listen to this carefully, because he says, how dare he say that I don't remember that. Then,
how dare he raise that? Frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, it wasn't any of their damn business.
I think he just went off script there. I think he went off script. He stopped looking at the teleprompter. He went off script. And this is where he gets into problems. Listen.
Let me tell you something. Some of you have commented. I wear, since the day he died, every single day, the rosary he got from Our Lady of...
Oh, what? From where, Joe? You every day I wear the rosary he got from Our Lady... A lady of what, Joe?
Since the day he died, every single day, the rosary he got from Our Lady of...
I don't know. Can't remember. Now, is this helping him? Does this help him? Holy shit. And I feel bad for the guy. I really do. Because it's got to, you know, I've had a couple a grandparent and another relative who lived with us when I was growing up for towards the end of their life, and they were going through this memory thing, and it was so hard, and they would get so frustrated and so angry, and it was hard to deal with. I mean, and so I understand, you know, I've actually seen this happen to somebody, and it can't make him feel good, but it's also, why is he the president of the United States right now? If that is the case. Hello, Jason Who, by the way. And Now What Studios. What's up, Woo? How you doing? You knew my grandmother because you helped plan my 16th birthday party with her. Or no, my 18th birthday party with her.
Every Memorial Day, we hold a service remembering him, attended by friends and family and the people who loved him.
So then you should probably know when he died. If you do this every year and you're wearing the rosary that you got from Our Lady of... Anyway.
I don't need anyone. I don't need anyone.
And it's got to be hard, too. I mean, it is. They brought up his son, and I'm sure that hurts. And you don't want that in a report. But it was specifically for the reason of, what's the reason we're not prosecuting him? Well, we can't just say he's an old man with a poor memory. We have to give some examples, and there were several examples they gave, and this was just one of them.
To remind me when he passed away, or passed away. Simple truth is, I sat for a 5-hour interview over 2 days of events.
What did he say? What the fuck did he just say? First thing I sat through,
Passed away. Simple truth is, I sat for a 5-hour interview over 2 days of events.
5 hours, 2 days. Is that the stutter, or is that feeble talking skills?
Going back 40 years. At the same time I was managing an international crisis, their task was to make a decision about whether to move forward with charges in this case.
And knowing that they were never going to never get a conviction in Washington, D.C.
That's his job.
In fact, notice he doesn't mention that part of the report. That was also one of the reasons, because they knew they were not going to be able to get a conviction with a jury in D.C.
And they decided not to move forward. For any extraneous commentary, they don't know what they're talking about. It has no place in this report.
See, now it's the report's fault for mentioning it now, not that it was happening.
Bottom line is the matter is now closed. I'm going to continue what I've always focused on, my job of being President of the United States of America.
Okay.
Thank you.
I hope you have a lot of Adderall so you can focus on it. Now, he makes a mistake. I think he makes a mistake. Well, here, let's start with the questions. Let's
Take some questions.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that...
Now, notice, he's fumbling through his notes. He says, I'm going to take some questions. And Ducey just doesn't wait. He asks a question, right? Is he fumbling through his notes to figure out whose staff told him to ask questions from? Because normally they give him a list of about 5 people. He takes 5 questions and then he just walks away. I think Ducey wasn't about to let him do this, because he's like, no, I'm asking a question right now. And then it turns into a feeding frenzy. Watch.
That one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I've put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's totally out.
How bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad, I let you speak.
Now, one chuckle in the room, but now watch what happens. Because, I mean, that's pretty quick for him. But also, I wonder, too, my memory's so bad that I didn't get the people I was supposed to ask questions from out of my note cards fast enough. So here we go.
That's my
memory has gotten worse, Mr.
And now people are going to jump in.
My memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I've become president.
Name a few things.
None of you thought I could pass any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? You know, I guess I just forgot what was going on.
Mr. President.
Voters have concerns about your age. How are you going to assuage them? And do you fear that this report is only going to...
Now he gets angry. Now remember, a lot of people in this situation, as they start losing their memory, become very irritable because they don't like being challenged on anything, because it's embarrassing for them.
Further concerns about your age.
Only by some of you.
Mr. President.
Wait, what was the question again? I can't remember what the question was here. Hang on.
What I've done since I've become president. None of you thought I could pass any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? You know, I guess I just forgot what was going on.
Mr. President.
Voters have concerns about your age. How are you going to assuage them? And do you fear that this report is only going to fuel further concerns about your age?
Only by some of you.
Oh, only by some of you? No. By the entire country. 86% of the country have concerns about not his age, but what his age is doing to him. It's not about his age. If he were completely competent, it'd be no problem. If he was Jack LaLanne at 80 whatever he is, he'd still have 20 years of good memory going. If he was, there's plenty of 80-year-olds. If he was Queen Elizabeth at 82, nobody was questioning Queen Elizabeth and her ability to, process things when she was 82. Now, maybe at the very end of her life, maybe, but she was pretty sharp at 82. It has nothing to do with your age. It has to do with the fact that you're showing early signs of age degradation or degradation due to age.
Criminal liability today. But do you take responsibility for at least being careless with classified material?
Now, he's going to lie here too, because he's going to say, oh, well, the reporter that he was supposedly talking about it to, blah, 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 and this wasn't classified information. I should have said this. I should have said that.
I take responsibility for not having seen exactly what my staff was doing.
Throwing the
points
staff
out
under the bus.
Things that appeared in my garage, things that came out of my home.
Oh,
things that
yes, they just showed up.
Not by me,
Poof.
but my staff.
Now, in this report, there's a specific time in the report where it says that he referenced the classified material that it was in his garage. He said, yeah, it's downstairs here and there. So that's a lie. He knew it was there. If he knew it was there, why didn't he get rid of it when he found out it was there?
Mr. President, for months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, watch me. Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your
No,
judgment.
it's the American people's judgment. It's not her judgment. Poll after poll says so.
Mr. President, in December, you told me that you believe there are many other Democrats who could defeat Donald Trump. So why does it have
And
to be
she
you
wants
now?
that because
What
she's
is your
worried,
reason
because
why-
she is on his
In
side.
this country, be president of the United States and finish the job I started.
Wait a minute. I thought your vice president was plenty capable in your absence. Isn't that why you chose her? That's why you chose her, because she was the most capable person right behind you. And man, she's been in the administration the whole time. She should be able to just take over right away. Oh, no, but you're the only one, Joe. You're the only one.
Mr. President, why are you confusing the names of world leaders?
Thank you, everyone.
I did
Oh,
not.
did you hear that? Now, did you hear the thank you everyone in the background? Because they're trying to they want him out of there. They know this is a feeding frenzy. Listen again.
First in this country, be president of the United States and finish the job I started.
Do you believe that? Why are you confusing the names of world leaders?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you everyone. Did you hear
I
it?
did not share classified information. I did not share it.
With your ghostwriter.
With my ghostwriter, I did
The
not.
report said he
Guarantee I
did.
did not.
But the special counsel said in the
No,
report
it
that he
did not say that.
It says it in the report. Absolutely.
Mr. President, one of the...
Let me answer your question. The fact of the matter is, what I didn't want repeated, I didn't want him to know, and I didn't read it to him, was I had written a long memorandum to President Obama why we should not be in Afghanistan. And I was of this multiple pages. And so what I was referring to, I said classified. I should have said should be private, because it was a contact between the president and the vice president as to what was going on. That's what he was referring to.
So what
It
was going
not
on in the
classified
memo
information in
classified?
That document. That was not classified.
Point to somebody.
He called on me.
He called on me.
When you look back at this incident, is there anything you would do differently now? And do you think that a special prosecutor
he'll
should
blame it on
have
his
been appointed
staff.
in the first place in both of these cases?
First of all, what I would have done is overseen the transfer of the material that was in my office, in my offices.
Again,
I should have done that.
he told the
If
reporter.
I go back, I didn't have
This
the
is
responsibility to
ghostwriter.
that. That was my staff was supposed to do that. And
He
they
told the
referenced
ghostwriter
it
he
in the
knew
report.
that some of that material was in his
And my
house.
staff did not
So-
do it in the way.
So
that-
at some
For
point he
example,
knew it was there.
I didn't know how half the boxes got in my garage until I found out staff gathered them up, put them together, and took them to the garage in my home.
Really? The staff just throw them into the garage. So now some of one of the boxes they were talking about was really degraded, like it'd been in there for a long time. Like it's like around all who's just garage shit, right? He never knew that was there, huh?
And all the stuff that was in my home was in filing cabinets that were either locked or able to be locked.
Oh,
It was in my house.
that's not what the-
It
that's
wasn't
not-
out in Mar-a-Lago in a public place.
No, it
where-
was in your garage.
and
Some of
none
it was in your
high
garage.
classified. Didn't have any of that red stuff on it. You know what I mean? Around the corners, none of that. And so I wish I had paid more attention to how the documents were being moved and where. I thought they were being moved to the archives. I thought all of it was being moved. That's what I thought. Now, what was the last part of your question?
Did you not drive your Corvette in the last 15 years? You did. Well, is it his Corvette or his wife's? I don't even know. He didn't drive that car in 15 years. Never went in his garage ever. I saw those pictures of you in the Corvette with the sunglasses. I thought that was you, Joe. It looked like you. Cool Joe. Remember those pictures?
Question?
Whether a special counsel should have been appointed in this case and in the case of your rival president, former president.
I think a special counsel should have been appointed. And the reason I think a special counsel should have been appointed is because I did not want to be in a position that they looked at Trump and weren't going to look at me, just like they looked at the vice president.
Yes.
And the fact is they made a firm conclusion.
So altruistic.
I did not break the law, period. Thank you all very much.
Now, he's going to leave here. And I'm sure his staff is just a giant sigh of relief while he leaves. Watch. And he's leaving, Oh!
The hostage negotiation.
Staff is like, no! No! Don't go back to the podium! Get out here! Joe! Ah, shit!
I'm of the view, as you know, that the conduct.
So he's taking a question about, I think over in Gaza, right? Israel and Gaza. And listen carefully.
Of the response.
We talked about this Friday, but I still think it's hilarious.
In Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, has been over the top.
Really? Over the top?
I think that
the war, the act of war.
As you know, initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in.
The president of Mexico? What are you talking about, Willis? The president of Mexico. It is.
I talked to him. I convinced him to open the gate. I talked to Bibi to open the gate on the Israeli side. I've been pushing really hard.
Mexico.
Really hard.
Hi, Mark
to get
Smart.
humanitarian assistance into Gaza. There are a lot of innocent people who are starving. A lot of innocent people who are in trouble and dying. And it's got to stop, number one. Number two, I was also in a position that I'm the guy that made the case that we have to do much more to increase the amount of material going in, including fuel, including other items. I've been on the phone with the Qataris,
Missiles?
I've been on the phone with the Egyptians, I've been on the phone with the Saudis to get as much aid as we possibly can into Gaza. There are innocent people, innocent women and children who are also in badly in need of help. And so that's what we're pushing. And I'm pushing very hard now to deal with this hostage ceasefire because, I've been working tirelessly in this deal. How can I say this without revealing it? To lead to a sustained pause in the fighting, in the actions taking place in the Gaza Strip. And because I think if we could get the delay for that, the initial delay, I think that we would be able to extend that so that we could increase the prospect.
So now he's kind of mumbling.
This fighting in
circling
Gaza
around,
changes.
trying to
There's
remember
also
what he's saying.
negotiations. You may recall, in the very beginning, right before Hamas attacked, I was in contact with the Saudis and others to work out a deal where they would recognize Israel's right to exist, make them part of the Middle East, recognize them fully.
Okay, so now he kind of just mumbles his way through this. By the way, welcome, Diesel Dick. Is that name on Rumble? That's a new name. Nice to see you here. Sicilian flu, the mobsters would get gravely ill or senile before their trials. Yeah, they always forget everything. So anyway, And then he mumbles his way
in
through
return
this.
for certain things that the United States would commit
That's
to
a
do.
great name. That's a great
That
internet
we are
name.
proposing to do related to two items. I'm not going to go in detail, but one of them was to deal with the protection against their arch enemy to the northwest, northeast, I should say.
Yeah, because to the northwest, that would be in the Red Sea. So it's definitely not the northwest there, Joe.
The second one, by providing ammunition and material for them to defend themselves. Coincidentally, that's the time frame when this broke out. I have no proof what I'm about to say, but it's not unreasonable to suspect that the Hamas understood what was about to take place and wanted to break it up before it happened.
Oh no, he was talking about Saudi Arabia. Anyway, yeah, this. So, did this press conference help him at all, or should he just have let it go, and waited till he could make a statement that is not hastily put together? Maybe during the day when his whatever they shoot him up with doesn't wear off so quickly. It just didn't make sense for him to do this press conference. I'm going to leave this in the links. So, why do I have to? Oh, there we go. Several articles that I have available today. I'm not going to get deeply into any of them, but let's start with the human events one here. The Her report on Biden is unintentionally damning. And now they say it's one of the most unintentionally hilarious documents to come out of an American legal system since the state of Georgia versus Denver Fenton Allen was released. We refer to, of course, Special Counsel Robert Hur's report on President Joe Biden's handling of classified information. Why was it so funny? Well, let's put it this way. Hur's reasons for not prosecuting Biden are arguably more politically damaging than a potential prosecution itself. They are definitely more politically damaging because, as Hur correctly suspects, Biden would likely walk free even if he were not safe from prosecution as president, given the fact that the case would be tried by a D.C. jury who would have every reason to find Biden innocent. Therefore, in a hypothetical trial of President Biden, that not guilty verdict would be seen by DC's political class as an unquestioned win for him. Whereas now, when the prosecutor himself has thrown his hands up in disgust and explained all the embarrassing reasons why Biden's defense would be so easy to construct in a legal court, even as that defense could ruin him in the court of public opinion, we cannot help but laugh. Because him not being prosecuted for the reasons he's not being prosecuted, that is much worse than going before a D.C. jury and getting acquitted. It's insane that I mean, they should have just went ahead with it and get the absolute. I'm not guilty. It's completely bullshit. Blah blah blah. But no, now the question remains on his mental acuity and the fact that he did do all these illegal things. It does not absolve him of anything. And that's what the funny thing about it. So anyway, also we got, and of course, Biden camp circles the wagon. So let me put that in the screen, or it should be. There we go. Biden camp circles the wagon after counsel report calls him an elderly man with a poor memory. So the highlights of this, President Biden's allies are insisting that his mental faculties are strong after Special Counsel Robert Hur's investigation of Biden's handling of classified documents. The report states that Biden forgot when he was vice president. He mixed up the presidents of Egypt and Mexico in Thursday's evening remarks addressing the report's findings, which have attracted renewed attention to his mental faculties and advanced age. And the most difficult part about a meeting with President Biden is preparing for it because he is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused, Department of Homeland Security Director Alejandro Mayorkas says. So, everything Mayorkas says is gold, right? No. And again, these articles will all be in the links when I drop in the chat at the end of the show here, just in a little bit. But here it is. 86% of Americans say Biden too old for another term. Now, again, if he were Queen Elizabeth and at the same time where she was at 82, she was pretty damn sharp at 82. Joe Biden's not. Elizabeth started showing signs at about 96, 97. Okay. So anyway, 86% of adults said Biden, who is 81, is too old. And I would say physically, mentally old, not necessarily, not by chronologically, for a second term in the White House. Now, look, Trump's only 3 years younger than him, but is there a difference between Trump speaking extemporaneously and Joe Biden? Absolutely. There's a big difference. So, and they go through other poll numbers in that one. And Breitbart, Biden's old legal team, went to his legal team went to the Justice Department, pissed off about the fact that this report said what it did. President Joe Biden's personal attorney said Sunday he went to both the special counsel and the attorney general to register concerns over what he viewed to be a pejorative and unnecessary dig at the president's memory. This is a report that went off the rails, Bob Bauer said on CBS Face the Nation Sunday. It's a shabby work product. The special counsel was investigating. Okay, we know what it was, why, but they went and complained to both Merrick Garland and to the special counsel. That was unnecessary. That was a hit job. Kind of like what Comey did to Hillary Clinton. He kind of told the truth at the end that, well, we know he can't get a conviction because it's Hillary Clinton and nobody wants to be dead. That's basically that's what Comey said. Disgraced FBI officials say there were nauseating similarities between Biden's classified docs and Hillary's email. Yes, there were. Former Deputy Director Andrew McCabe said Friday that Special Counsel Robert Hur's report on President Joe Biden's handling of classified documents bore nauseatingly similarities to former FBI Director James Comey's remarks on former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's email. He's mad because he told the truth. Hur's report, released Thursday, found that Biden deliberately kept classified documents, but Hur declined to charge him, describing the president as a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory, and cited the fact that Biden reportedly had forgotten the death of his son, Beau Biden, among other details. McCabe, who served as deputy director of the FBI during the investigation into Clinton, criticized Hur for including the details in that report. Well, could you just say only because he had a bad memory, or would you have to tell why to justify it to the American people? Well, he couldn't remember a few things. Could you leave it at that and say, oh, we can't stand trial because he's an old man who couldn't remember a few things? No. You either try him or you have to say why you're not going to try him. And so I don't think that would have sat well with people. Anyway, in PJ Media, has Joe Biden become possessed, or is he just high as a kite? Again, it's funny when you can see whatever they give him to keep him alert at the beginning wears off and he gets all cranky and, what's that puppet that, what's the puppet's name that looks like Joe Biden? I can't remember what's that puppet's name that, well, I don't know. I think you might know who I'm talking about. Anyway. But we'll move on. Miranda Devine Joe Biden was pissed off about this whole thing, and Miranda Devine at the New York Post, who's a conservative columnist, definitely not a fan of Joe Biden, said Joe Biden can spare us the fake outrage over the damning report. Joe Biden lashed out at Special Counsel Robert Hur over his report that let her husband off the hook. That's the problem. They let him off the hook. So maybe just take the hit and hope people forget about it after the Super Bowl, which I'm not going to. He willfully retained and sharing classified files, retained and shared, blah, 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 blah. I'm Joe Bidening. Sorry, guys. Due to the commander-in-chief's total lack of recall while being questioned. It's as predictable as it is risible. I hope you can imagine how it felt to read that attack, not just as Joe's wife, but as Beau's mother. Wait a minute. Stepmother? Or his mother? I thought she was stepmother. She must be his mother. Okay, I got that wrong. The First Lady lamented in a campaign email on the weekend. Oh, in a campaign email. Oh, so they did not want her out talking about it. I don't know what the special counsel was trying to achieve. I can't imagine why someone would try to use our son's death to score political points, because it has to be an example of why they would see him as an old man with a fading memory. If he cannot remember when his son died, if he can't remember certain things that he obviously should be remembering, and why he would be sympathetic to a DC jury. So sorry that he had to bring up that detail, but if you don't bring up those details, this report for not prosecuting can't be justified. So that's why. I'm sorry. If you can have either one or the other. You can have him be prosecuted, or you can come up with some reasons for not prosecuting him, because he absolutely broke the law, whether intentionally or not, because the law doesn't account for intention. The law accounts for possession. And so he absolutely 100% possessed them. In fact, Jill Biden could possibly be prosecuted for possessing them. So there you go. And did you notice what was missing in Jill Biden's statement on the Her report? Well, now this is the one I'm going to actually go through a little bit, and then I'm going to get out of here. I have tons more articles open for other things, and also even on this subject, but this is the one I wanted to get to, because this is actually pretty good. Oh, I gotta center it though. Oh, I forgot. Let's see a second. I can't do that. Okay. Well, let's just. How did that happen? Did I accidentally click the mute button? Sorry, guys. Okay. Yeah, what the hell? How the hell that happen? Oh, you know what? I think I have a keystroke thing. Let me start this over. This is the one I wanted to get to. So here it is. Team Biden handling of the Her report has not gone well. Someone either decided Joe Biden would address the nation in a speech and to answer questions after his bedtime, or failed to convince Biden not to. The experts on both sides of the aisle are panning Biden's evening speech as not being helpful to his cause. And they're right. It certainly wasn't. That was a shit show of a press conference. Now the Biden campaign is literally trying to fundraise off of outrage over the report. The campaign sent out an email Saturday night with a statement from Jill Biden. From Jill Biden. Not from Joe, not from the handlers, not from his chief of staff, but from Jill Biden. Because who's the most sympathetic person in that in the White House if you're going to whine about something? Probably Dr. Jill Biden. Generally speaking, there's nothing new in this statement we haven't already heard, except for the fact that it includes a detail Joe Biden apparently couldn't recall when his son Beau died. Quote, I hope you can imagine how I felt about that attack. Not just as Joe's wife, but as Beau's mother, this fundraising pitch began. I don't know what this special counsel was trying to achieve. We should give everyone grace, and I can't imagine someone would use our son's death to score political points. If you experience a loss like that, you don't get to measure it in years. You measure it in grief. Now, I suspect whoever wrote that pitch for Joe Biden didn't know that Joe Biden wasn't actually Beau Biden's mother. I didn't think so. She's not his mother. But I digress. The report wasn't an attack. Legally, it was a gift, and Biden and his team have been regularly cherry-picking select quotes to support the claim that he did nothing wrong, even though that's not what the report actually said. Biden and his team are trying to contain the political fallout of the investigation assessment of Biden's cognitive decline. This isn't attacking Joe or Beau, as Hans von Spakovsky, a former federal election commissioner and senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, explained. An explanation of her findings on the president's mental condition was necessary to explain why he is not recommending prosecution. Wow, that's just great minds. Great minds. You can't have both. You either get prosecuted or you let the special prosecutor explain in detail why you're not prosecuting. The pitch continued, though. May 30th is the day forever etched in our hearts. It shattered me. It shattered our family. This is Jill Biden's pitch for a fundraising letter. So many of you know that feeling after you lose a loved one where you feel like you can't get off the floor. What helped me and what helped Joe was to find purpose. It's what keeps Joe going, serving you and the country you love. Joe is 81, that's true, but he is 81 doing more in an hour than most people do in a day. Please. Please. I didn't want to call her bitch, but please. He has delivered on so many of his promises as president precisely because he's learned a lot in those 81 years. His age with his experience and expertise is an incredible asset. He proves it every day. Now, what really sticks out about this pitch is that there isn't a denial of anything in the report. It doesn't dispute that Joe couldn't remember when he was vice president or when his son died. In fact, it almost reads like an excuse letter by reiterating the debilitating loss of a loved one and then by insisting that he does more in an hour than most people do in a day, as if to suggest we need to give him some slack because he works so hard at the beach. Now, I wouldn't doubt that Biden takes more vacations in a year than most Americans do in a lifetime, but that's not the same thing. We know this because we see it. We see Biden has the schedule of someone who's taking it easy and is staying out of sight as much as he can get away with, but not once in the pitch does Jill even attempt to dispute the report by saying Joe Biden is sharp and has a great memory. If she did, there would be no reason to charge him. And that's why he had to put it in the report. Otherwise, if he's super sharp and knows everything and remembers everything and this and that, they would have to prosecute him. They gave him an excuse to not be prosecuted. What the living hell is that? Oh, that's wild. I did not know that was in there. Anyway, guys, that's it. I got to go. Thank you so much for joining me on the Morning Night Live today. There is tons of other articles not tons. There's about 15 other articles in the links today that I did not get to. And so I just want to encourage you. I'm going to drop those in the chat during the outro, and I will drop them. And if you could do me a favor, by the way, hit the like button, share the stream, do all that stuff. And we'll go from there. I'll be back. I'm here Monday through Friday for those of you who are new here, around 10 o'clock Eastern time. If you subscribe on YouTube or Rumble, you will get the notifications. So just do that. Also, you can follow me on Locals. That's in the links also. That's it. That's all I got to do. I got to get out of here. Thank you for joining me today. My name is P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Links will be in the chat shortly. Bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.